Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here in June. I very welcome my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. And welcome, yes, this is Big Mouth. I'm Mick Meanish. Go and follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. But I shouldn't be so jovial because it's a very, very sad day for all Doctor Who fans. If you're like myself, who didn't watch Doctor Who when Terrence Dicks wrote on Doctor Who, you should still be really, really sad because he kind of shaped what Doctor Who is now. Amazing writer, yes, legendary Doctor Who writer Terrence Dicks has died. And what's really amazing about this, and it shows you the lives he touched and the greatness that he brought into Doctor Who fans' lives, because so many fellow Doctor Who fans have told me about Terrence Dicks so many times, but I don't know him so well. I don't know his episodes. I haven't had the opportunity to go back and see his work on Doctor Who, and I'm definitely going to remedy that. If there's anything I can grab hold of to watch for Doctor Who that Terrence Dicks did, I'm definitely going to go back because I'm really interested. Because for me, and I don't even know, maybe I have watched a Terrence Dicks episode before and didn't know it. I started watching Doctor Who in the Peter Davison era. I then stopped until Doctor Who the movie, and I started watching the revival. So you could say, some people will say, I'm not a die-hard Doctor Who fan, but I love Doctor Who. I really do. And basically, I feel, even though I didn't experience the Terrence Dicks era of Doctor Who, that I have a responsibility because people have followed me and subscribed to my channel here because they're Doctor Who fans and I talk about Doctor Who. So I think it's important that I pay respects to Terrence's life and what he did with Doctor Who. So we are going to read this article on The Hollywood Reporter. I mean, it's amazing that The Hollywood Reporter have actually done an article about him. That just goes to show you how massive he is. And what should I say? Terrence Dicks, Doctor Who writer, dies at 84. He served as script editor on the cult BBC sci-fi series between 1969 and 1974, so there's quite a bit of time, wasn't it? Terrence Dicks was one of the original writers of the cult BBC sci-fi programme Doctor Who. He died. Has died. He was 84. The official Doctor Who Twitter account broke the news on Monday, describing Dicks as an incredibly talented man who would be sorely missed. The British author was originally hired as an assistant script editor on Doctor Who in 1968, when the show, now the longest-running sci-fi series in the world, was just 5 years old. He was promoted in 1969 to script editor, earning his first writing credit on The War Games, which concluded the sixth season of the series and the tenure of the second Doctor, played by Patrick Troughton. However, Dicks has been uncredited as the co-writer of the earlier serial, The Seeds of Death. Dicks, known affectionately as Uncle Terrence to Doctor Who fans, would form a productive working relationship with producer Barry Letts, another legend of Doctor Who, of course, serving as scriptwriter on all of his 5 seasons heading up the show from 1970 to 1974. While working on Doctor Who, Dicks began writing spin-off novels and stage plays, while also turning his hand to children's fiction and not fiction outside the Doctor Who universe, including the Baker Street Irregulars, inspired by the characters of Sherlock Holmes. In an article celebrating Dicks' 80th birthday in 2015, Doctor Who News described the writer as arguably the most prolific contributor to Doctor Who. And this is what Doctor Who Online had to say. Breaking news, just received comms that legendary Doctor Who writer Terrence Dicks has died. Genuinely gutted and incredibly talented man who we had the pleasure of interviewing over the years. He also regularly took part in Q&As on the Doctor Who forums. He will be sorely missed. And that's the article. As I say, my knowledge of Terrence is very, very limited. But as I say, as a Doctor Who fan now, it's impossible not to know the name Terrence Dicks. And as soon as I saw it on Twitter, I knew exactly who he was. I feel a bit ashamed, really, that I don't have more information on the guy. But what I will say is, from what I've been told, is this is a guy who really should be celebrated, because would there even be a Doctor Who without Terrence Dicks? I mean, this is what people tell me. These are what fellow Doctor Who fans tell me, who have been watching Doctor Who for many years, who have gone back and watched the originals and the classics and have become die-hard fans of the classics. What Terrence Dicks achieved is absolutely superb, and his death should be marked. But at 84, 85 years old, I don't think it's a tragedy. I think we should celebrate his life. I think we should remember him and remember where we are now with Doctor Who as well. Terrence Dicks was a man, a talented man, who worked on the show, who made Doctor Who better. We need a Terrence Dicks on the modern day show. We are desperate. In fact, and I don't want to be disrespectful to Terrence on a video going on about Chibnall, but this is really funny. Actually, Chris Chibnall they've quoted Chibnall about talking about Terrence Dicks. So, and I can't remember what exactly he said, but we found Chibnall, and all it took was a Doctor Who legend in Terrence Dicks to die. So he's not missing anymore. But instead of talking about modern Doctor Who, he's talked about Terrence, and rightly so, a prolific Doctor Who writer, but he won't talk about the current season of Doctor Who. Is that because he's not on it anymore? As I say, I don't want to make this about Chibnall, but at the end of the day, I thought I'd do the video, a very quick video, just to say that Doctor Who legendary writer and script editor Terrence Dicks has passed away. My regrets and my condolences to his family, because yes, we have lost someone very prolific. And as a Doctor Who fan, the history of the show is so important, because without the history of Doctor Who, without the classic series, there is no modern series. There's no Russell T Davies. There's no Stephen Moffat, because they wouldn't have been inspired. Then there would be no Doctor Who, right? So basically, it's very, very important for me to come on here and mark the passing of a Doctor Who legend in Terrence Dicks. And I promise you, as someone that does videos about Doctor Who, I'm going to research him. I'm going to watch as many of his episodes as possible so I know more, so I don't feel like such a fraud. Anyway, if you've got any comments to make, maybe you want to educate me about Terrence Dicks, in the comments down below, and maybe we can discuss it when this launches on Premiere a bit later on. Anyway, I'll be back with more Doctor Who videos, more DC videos. I'll see you then. Apart from that, R.I.P. Terrence Dicks, rest in peace. You were a Doctor Who legend, and many, many people are marking your passing right now.